Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for the committee for inviting me to come give this real short presentation. I have a really strange background. I'm Brazilian, doing a PhD in Germany. So I'm going to talk a lot, but I'll try to be on time. So my PhD is about a sort of superimposition of disciplines about landscape architecture, urban planning, and why not architecture per se. So I'm going to begin by talking about something that's not necessarily directly related to this, but about inland resource extraction, which in a way you might, in your imaginary, think that this invariably leads to the creation of new more or less stable, more or less problematic settlements whose lifespans coincides with the extraction activity itself, mining, also oil, so forth. So this relationship is in a way quite linear, where the creation of the first is contingent upon the creation of the latter. So in the end of the day, one has to be present to dig a hole. I know I'm oversimplifying this, I apologize, but just to make a point. But my research is actually about a different kind of resource extraction where this relationship is not so linear. I'm talking about the specificity of offshore oil and gas, this one that takes place all the way into the ocean. And the reason why it's so different is because this industry is not tied to the creation of settlements that enable their existence. They have a very particular territorial intelligence where pre-existing towns are converted into logistical headquarters for the companies extracting oil and gas all the way into the ocean. And believe me, this makes a lot of difference and changes everything. So the number of affected towns is striking. And as you can see in this map over there, so are the numbers in this industry. In less than a decade, these towns doubled or even tripled in population, not to mention the skyrocketing growth of local economies and governmental revenue through financial compensations, or as we call it, royalties. So royalties are basically private companies paying a bonus to the government to extract resources. And this chart, I'll try to make it right. Okay, I did the laser right. So this chart shows exactly what I'm talking about, as long as these maps where you can see the offshore oil extraction points. So in 1997, when Brazilian opened the market to foreign oil companies, you have drastic changes in very short periods of time. So population, the added value of the industry, and these images over here kind of show a hint of what's behind all this development. So in a scenario of very poor spatial monitoring and planning, the sudden wealth brought by the oil industry has very severe side effects. And as you can see in this map over here, which indicates the legal subdivisions for royalty distribution, and this is really key to this research, all over the country. The ties between revenue from oil and towns are not only visible, but also institutionalized. So the sort of dependency from these local governments onto the general revenue is really striking. So what this research focuses on is on monitoring these urban effects and the footprints of this industry, trying to figure out what are the indexes that can be visible in the territory using a lot of remote sensing and GIS technology together with statistical models that can, in a way, try to predict how these things happen. Thank you very much. Thank you.